What's up, guys? This is Chris here, and today we're going to be talking about an interesting subject. We're going to be talking about the 5 guns for the apocalypse. Now, whatever the apocalypse might be for you, regardless of whatever crazy situation that comes up or maybe you thought up, it'll probably never happen, but if it does, you might want to be prepared. Whether that be civil unrest without rule of law or any type of situation or location you can come up with, the firearms that you might want to defend yourself with are relatively similar. They're all going to be accurate, they're going to be reliable, durable, long-term durable with good track records. So I'm going to try to give you at least my pick of the 5 guns I would choose for the apocalypse. These really aren't in any particular order because which of these you would pick is really based on where you live, what you're going to use it for. I have some experience in the field and I'm trying to pick guns that would work for some people, but mostly for my purposes, and they'll have some of my personal biases, so be aware of that. If you have a different opinion, buy different guns or just talk shit in the comments. I do have a wealth of experience when it comes to firearms. If you're new to the channel, I have well over 1,000 plus videos and I've been doing gun reviews for over 10 years, and I'll at least give you my honest opinion, and that's more than you can say for some of the internet. All right then, let's get right into it with number 5, and that's going to be the extremely obvious one. We'll get this one out of the way, and it's been in a lot of my videos because for the apocalypse, you're gonna want a concealed carry gun, and I'm not just gonna change the carry gun I carry now, so in the apocalypse, it will also be the M&P 2.0, specifically the Shield Plus Performance Edition with a red dot. Now, the reason why I want a red dot for the apocalypse is because I'd be slightly more likely to use the handgun, slightly more likely to shoot it at distance, and the red dot will help me with that, adding a little bit more uncomfortability, but not much of a problem because it's less of a concern to print, in my opinion, in the apocalypse, but it's still a concern. There's a lot of different apocalyptic scenarios that you might not want to be seen carrying a firearm. I know that sounds unrealistic to you guys that watch too many Roland Emmerich movies or something like that, but the reality is that you might have checkpoints. You might have local government checkpoints, you might have warlord checkpoints, who knows what it might be, and you might want to look less assuming. Also, if somebody's walking over a hill with an AR, and that guy might want the AR, so he might get you to get the gun. Whereas if you don't have anything valuable on you, maybe he leaves you alone, I'm not sure. Whatever situation it might be that you might want a concealed carry firearm, I would probably want my Shield. It has been the most reliable concealed carry gun I've ever had, so that's what I'm gonna pick. M&P Shield is a striker-fired polymer frame pistol with a 10-round capacity, 12 or 15-round. I've got a gang of 15-round magazines as well. So even though it's tiny, it shoots like a bigger gun because it's ported. It has a red dot, has incredible trigger, and if I had 15 rounds, there's really not any practical difference between that and a much larger handgun, except for the fact that I'm carrying it much more comfortably and it's harder to see. So overall, that's my personal pick for number 5, although if your preference is more Glock, SIG, or maybe Springfield, you can do that as well. Obviously, the Glock platform, especially if you chose a 26 or a 19, is maybe not quite as good ergonomics, maybe not as shootable, but there are probably more magazines available for that gun if you're interested in scavenging. Now at number 4, I'm gonna put kind of a bougie pick. I'm gonna go with the Sons of Liberty Gunworks Mark 1 11.5.556. Now hear me out. I know it's an expensive firearm, but you only have one life, and how much is your life worth? And it just happens to be the gun that Dev Group recently acquired, and they actually put this out to Sons of Liberty Gunwork as a contract gun. So all the parts on this gun, all the specifications were specifically designed by arguably one of the most elite military groups on the planet, and it's brand new. This contract was just put out a couple of months ago, and I've got my grubby hands on the gun, and I can tell you that it is amazing. Now don't get me wrong, any 11.5.556 will work. If you have a PSA that's $300 and it's going to work for you, you shot it's reliable, by all means. I like my PSA 11.5. I love my BCM 11.5. But if you're going to go to the apocalypse and you can only carry one gun, you might as well have a slightly smoother, slightly more bougie version. Now, the differences between the Sons of Liberty and some of the other more affordable guns is going to be in the build quality, the parts quality, and just the sheer smoothness of the gun. It's so fast because it's gassed so perfectly. All the controls are extremely slicked up. It has ambi controls, an anti-rotation rail. It has knurling on the M-LOK rail so you can have the best grip possible. It looks mean, and it comes out with an incredible trigger right out of the box. So no need to literally change anything. You can LARP to your own heart's content with the new Dev Group rifle. It is expensive at $2,700 to $3,000, but what a phenomenal gun. We shot 500 rounds through it in a row with no malfunctions whatsoever, with a whole bunch of different types of ammo, with hits well out to 400 yards, and I cannot describe to you how smooth it is. I like the 11.5 platform because it's so small, it's so light, but it can still stretch out to more than the distances you need. You could still easily deer hunt with it if you needed to. You could take down a bear if you had to, and it can deal with any threat that you would need, whether that be a home defense scenario, WROL scenario, or anything that you can think of. And 11.556 is sort of perfect for the role. That's why they're so popular. Now, at number 3, I wanted to do a pistol caliber carbine. And the reason why I wanted to is because 9mm is the most popular round on the planet, so the likelihood of you running into 9mm is pretty common. And if you're like me, I shoot rifles a little bit better than I do pistols. Even though I'm a pretty good pistol shot, I still shoot rifles better. I wanted something that I could use my surplus of ammo for. I wanted it to be reliable, I wanted it to be lightweight, and I wanted it to be modular for magazines. It was hard for me to think about which one of those I would actually get. Now, if I was looking for a PCC for home defense or something like that, I would not go this route. I'd probably go with like an MP5 or maybe even a JP5. But if I'm thinking long-term durable, maybe I want it to break in half so I can pack it in a bag so nobody can see me. What gun on the market has those options? And the answer is the Ruger PC Carbine. The Ruger PC Carbine not only breaks in half, but it's reliable, it's durable, it's extremely affordable for not only me, because I already own one, but you guys if you want to get one. On top of that, they take different mag wells, so if you want to use M&P mags, if you want to use SIG mags, if you want to use Glock mags, you can use all 3, which is very nice, again, if you're scavenging. Overall, I think it's a great choice, but as far as PCCs go, I happen to be really accurate with the Ruger PC Carbine, and if I was going to use it, I would probably want to save my 5.56 ammo for shit that I would need and use up my 9mm ammo on small game hunting. Now, I know a lot of people use 22 for small game hunting, but I would rather use 9. Crazily enough, because that's what I have used in my life. And on top of that, I also feel like 9 would be a better all-purpose gun in case you ran into people you didn't like while you were hunting, or whatever the situation might be, or maybe you can only afford one gun and you just want that 9, you want it for self-defense. It's going to be a lot better than a 22. Even though most people would pick a 22, especially a 22 bolt-action rifle or something like that, if you want an all-purpose gun, I think the Ruger PC Carbine is even better. On top of that, it comes in a bunch of colors. You can put a light on it, you can put an optic on it, you can break it in half. What's not to love? And on top of that, it's well under $1,000, so if you don't have one, go get you one. In at number 2, you gotta have a shotgun. You really gotta have a shotgun. What shotgun though? What shotgun's the question? And for me personally, man, again, if I was just using it for self-defense, home defense, it's gonna be the Benelli M4. No question about it. I like the recoil impulse, I like the way it shoots, I love the look of the gun, and I just trust it. But this is the end of the world. And if it's the end of the world, I gotta use something more all-purpose. And what I mean by that is something I can change barrels out for maybe a longer barrel, maybe something that's lighter weight in case I have to carry it for a long distance. And for that reason, I'm gonna go with the Beretta A300. Reliable, durable, accurate, affordable, looks great, shoots super mean, and comes right out of the box with all the features that you need. Throw a weapon light on it and you are absolutely good to go. 12 gauge is one of the most all-purpose shotguns on the market, and there's tons of ammunition available. You can use it for self-defense, you can use it for bird hunting, deer hunting, whatever you might want. And I know that some people would err toward maybe a Mossberg or a Remington 870 pump gun, but for me personally, I really do like the semi-autos, and for only maybe $300 or $400 more, I could get one, and the semi-auto I would certainly go with is the Beretta A300. Semi-automatic, gas-operated, very light recoil, and comes in the market for less than $1,000. Bunch of cool colors as well. Go check one out. Now, in at number 1 is something that I wouldn't pick for most people, but I'd pick it for me. Now, you guys know I'm an HK fanboy, right? You guys know that I love HK, that I have for years. Literally, when I was 8 years old, all my G.I. Joes had HK guns. It's a big deal to me.
Woo!
I had a Donkey Kong toy when I was like 8 or 9 years old that when I went downstairs the other day at my parents' house and I looked, was literally carrying an HK Mark 23.
Well, I certainly feel good about you defending my home.
So with that being said, my number 1 choice is the MR762. I know that's coming out of the woodwork for some people, but hear me out. I love 308. I like 308 because it hits fucking hard.
150? Was that 50?
That's 150.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
That's some force.
Yeah. I have an absolute ton of it. I can shoot it well out to 1,000 yards. And as far as gas guns go, I feel like they are more reliable. This is gonna be a hot take, than 6.5 Creedmoor. I like 6.5 Creedmoor a lot, and I like 6mm arc, and I was pushing toward the 6mm arc for a little while, but I've had occasional reliability issues. It was something like the SCAR or the MR762. I really haven't seen those at all. So cheaper ammo than 6mm arc or 6.5 Creedmoor, more reliable by a little bit, not as good ballistics, a little more recoil, but it hits harder. It's a better hunting rifle overall. 308 goes right through a deer, it goes right through an elk as well. And honestly, the MR762 is the most reliable 308 that I've ever had my hands on, and I just have a giddy little schoolgirl crush on the damn thing. And the MR762A4, the new one, the one I just got, is a 13-inch, which is the perfect size for me, halfway between a brush gun and a little mini SPR. You still shoot it out to 700 yards, hits super close, and I can hunt anything in North America. And on top of that, it's not just a hunting gun like a bolt-action rifle. If you were out there trying to take my shit, at least I still have more than enough to deal with any problems. On top of that, if you need a sentry gun, you need a DMR, it works for those things. It can take out an engine block in a single shot, and it can put down anything with serious intensity, especially at close range. If you were using it for a home defense gun, you would not be unarmed.
Damn.
Nice. It's a nice small light rifle, easy to CQB with. I'm a big fan of the gun. It's unbelievably expensive, so if you don't want to get it, PSA makes a great gun, the 12.5 308. You can get that for $1,000. But if you got that money, or maybe you just got divorced and you want to treat yourself, go out there and get an MR762A4. I love it. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please support Oklahoma shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.